Welcome in if you're watching on the YouTube channel, WSUM 91.7, and of course our live audience on the radio. So take two here for Toss the Mic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the FM audience heard our first attempt. Video audience, you probably have no idea, and that's probably a good thing. So let's get this kicked off with something big in Wisconsin news with the Giannis trade, because Giannis got traded to the Miami Heat a couple days ago now. Raw reaction, though. Before even talking about the compensation here, as a Wisconsin sports fan, what do you think of this?
Well, I mean, the raw reaction is that, I mean, you tried it multiple times to try to make it to the playoffs and make a run for the title after Giannis won in 2021, obviously, and the teams were just not working. And I think they honestly held on to him for a little bit too long. We've been having these talks for like multiple years at this point, and I'm sure if you're a Wisconsin sports fan, if you're a Bucks fan, I bet you're just happy for this saga to be over, honestly.
Yeah. You could say with full confidence that the Bucks exhausted every avenue to try to win with Giannis. And unfortunately, it didn't get done. Maybe some coaching hires just were swings and a miss. Some signings, some injuries that are uncontrollable, by the way. Uncontrollable. So, yeah, all avenues have been exhausted. And I think this is the best possible trade you could have gotten. I don't care what some people are saying about that Boston Celtics trade. Jaylen Brown and a box of Triscuits? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
The people that are arguing for the Celtics trade, you're saying that Jaylen Brown could lead that roster to something. If Giannis couldn't, how could Jaylen Brown do it?
I don't think it's more. I think maybe he would just fit better for the future, maybe. But it's like, at the end of the day, they're kind of around similar ages. They're very comparable players in terms of, like, I don't know, skill level and superstardom. So I think, I don't know. I guess you got the best possible.
He's definitely a downgrade.
No.
I'll say that.
It's a downgrade. I think that the Blazers, had they been more aggressive, they could have put together a competitive offer for Giannis, and I think they just had players that they were not willing to give up. But I mean, you have Tumani, you have Shaedon Sharpe, you have all of the Bucks draft capital, by the way. So that's like pretty enticing if you're the Bucks GM. If you wanted to get that back, you could have maybe brokered a deal with the Blazers, but they could have had a more competitive offer than the Celtics, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this offer, though, you got to be excited about if you're a Bucks fan, because here's the full compensation. You get Tyler Hero, which I don't know if they're going to keep Tyler Hero. They might flip him for a first-round pick later on. But you get Khalil Ware, you get Jaime Jaquez, which two players that could immediately jump in and do something for your team if they get starter minutes. And then Kasper Jakuchunas. That's not maybe something that great, but hey, at least you got it. You get a round one pick, of course, number 10 and number 13, which we'll get into who those players were later on.
Right.
And then later on, and I'm talking later on, because 2031 and 2033, that's pretty far away, but you get unprotected first in 2031 and 2033 when Giannis is 36 and 38. So you're banking on Giannis maybe not being as great as he is now, carrying teams, and hoping that you get some lottery picks there. So, and you can't go without mentioning the 2030 and 2033 second round pick swap as well. So, and that's all according to ESPN Shams. So, yeah, there you go. What do you think of that compensation from the Miami Heat?
I mean, gut reaction, this is an incredibly weak package for a player of Giannis's caliber. And I get, to be fair, like, recently superstar trades, like, they haven't been like super blockbuster trades. But if you even compare this to like the Mikal Bridges trade with the Nets, or like what the Nets got for KD, and like,
how did Mikal Bridges go for 5 firsts? What are we talking about?
He went for 5 firsts. So
some GMs are different than some GMs. Okay. Let's just say that.
That's very fair. I think that, I mean, you gotta imagine that Miles Turner is on his way out if they want to really put effort into developing Khalil Ware, right? I mean, like, so, I mean, if they flip Miles Turner, if they flip Tyler Hero, this could be decent. I think this is probably realistically around what they could have got, but it just feels very, very weak to me. I think the Bucks won this trade. No, I think the Heat won this trade. Sorry.
I don't think either of these teams won the trade.
That's fair, too. That's honestly fair.
Look at the Miami Heat roster. Yeah. They got Bam. They got Giannis.
But they do get better. they get better with Giannis
Well,
than
of
without.
course, I think any team would get better with Giannis, but like,
which is why I
this
think they
doesn't
won.
change. Like,
you know,
for Giannis, if you're Giannis, you wanted to go to a team where you can win. This is no different than being on the Bucks 20 minutes ago. Like, what are we talking about?
not really. It's a pretty lateral move, which is why when I saw
Exactly.
it, I was like, big deal. You know, I think there are still teams in the East that are much better, like much more balanced than
absolutely, yeah.
the Miami Heat. I mean, they could maybe like slide in there at the 4 or 5 seed. I
think their floor is play-in, but I think their ceiling is like, unironically, 6th or 7th seed.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Okay.
So
that's fine.
That's best case scenario. Maybe you get to the second round.
Yeah, I agree.
You get swept by the Knicks or something. Or,
Knicks or Pistons or any of these teams that are better.
Before we keep going, who are your top 4 teams in the East? So I just get a gauge of what you're talking about.
Well, okay. I mean, I'd probably pick the Celtics, pick the Knicks.
Celtics, Knicks. Come on, keep it going. You know what team I'm thinking of.
Pistons are having a bounce back year. I'm picking the Pistons.
What about the team that beat the Pistons?
Okay, fine. I'll pick the Cavs.
Yes, there you go.
I really didn't want to say it, but I'll pick the Cavs.
They deserve to be there. They're the top 4 teams in the East. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Number 4.
Sure, they got swept, but they did beat the Pistons in 7, and in that Game 7, they beat them by 30 points. Convincingly on their home court.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, okay, that is very fair, but you gotta imagine that this Cavs team has kind of hit like its ceiling. I mean, can you really see this team like making it all the way to the finals?
I think they're gonna probably make a move. Whether that's moving on, making a lateral move from James Harden, adding on to the team with James Harden. I'm not saying like they can't do anything with James Harden on their roster. And
I'm
as a
saying that.
Cavs fan,
I'm saying that
I'm
personally.
removed from this Knicks series now. I'm not emotional anymore. I can say that maybe James Harden could lead this team, not lead this team, but be a part of the team that gets far in the playoffs, which they did get far in the playoffs.
They did.
Maybe their first 2 series, like, they both went to 7 games, but they still got to the Eastern Conference Finals. So we got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, I'll give them some credit for that. But I think that there are a lot of teams in the East that are kind of on the rise. I think you look at the Raptors, you look at the Sixers, they're drafting young talent, they're building up that young core. I think that they could easily slide into the 4 or 5. Even the Magic taking the Pistons to 7 games, I think that's very promising. I don't know, the East isn't like super wide open, in my opinion. Like,
they always say it is.
They always say
but
it
they
is.
do not give the Knicks enough credit.
The Knicks had an amazing run.
This is the Knicks ship, and they're steering it right now.
Yeah.
Full command of this ship.
Absolutely. I think that, yeah, I don't know. They had an absolutely dominant run. I mean, like that after that CJ McCollum game in Game 3, it's like
that's just prime CJ McCollum.
Yeah,
right there.
it was vintage CJ McCollum.
A combined 2 points, by the way. 2 points won by 2 losses all the way up to the finals. So,
yeah, they were absolutely dominant. I mean, they were consistently underpicked, underrated. I mean, did you pick the Knicks to even win the finals? Because I did not.
I did not have them going to the finals. No, I think I was on the Celtics train.
Okay, yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad I gave them bad karma because I'm not a big Celtics fan. So
yeah,
I was just like,
they
they
had one a couple
to get
years
back.
ago. Like, they'll be fine.
They're fine. They got Jason Tatum. Imagine they get Giannis though. Jason Tatum, best second option to ever exist in the history of the league. But let's shift things back though to you were talking about how the Bucks did not win this trade. I think even if they hit these picks at a half clip, they win this trade by a mile.
By a mile?
Yes, by a mile. If you hit half of these draft picks, you have a foundation for a decade.
Okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of trades that have happened like this where the team that trades away the superstar ends up being an unstoppable force. So.
And then you have the Nets.
And then you have the Nets. The Brooklyn Nets. I mean, look at the Brooklyn Nets right now.
I mean, as a Wolves fan, they have a new tank commander, so maybe they'll be all right, you know.
Just remember, just not too long ago, Brooklyn Nets fans were sitting on Long Island across from Knicks fans, talking about how they got KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, and they chose them over the Knicks. And now they got a ring. They got a ring. So, and who's the last laugh? So there you go. So yeah, obviously, this all depends on if the Bucks hit their picks. They got a lot of picks to do it. So if Curry shoots 10 threes, how many is he making?
He's making 4 or 5.
4 or 5, exactly. So hit on half of those draft picks, and you have yourself a squad. With that being said, let's talk about the NBA draft because now all of a sudden the NBA draft means a lot to Bucks fans because, I mean, not too long ago, the Bucks weren't picking anywhere in the draft because they got rid of everything to help support Giannis. But here it is. They had pick number 10 and number 13 in the lottery. First pick, I liked it. They get
Same
Arizona
here.
guard Braxton Burries.
Braden Burries. But
Braden Burries.
Yeah.
I mistyped that on the sheet, so there you go.
You know, I really like Braden Burries as a prospect. I mean, he was on a very defensively minded Arizona team, and he was often that guy that they looked to for outside shooting, and he was hitting at like a pretty decent clip too. It was like a 40% from three. It's really good. The only thing is he works primarily as like a secondary ball handler. He's not like the best at getting to the rim, but you don't necessarily need him to get to the rim. You just need him to like find open looks and take good shots. But I just worry about like the, I guess, compatibility with this current Bucks team. But he's someone that has like a ton of upside, in my opinion.
And then I think the elephant in the room, though, is the 13th pick that was given from the Miami Heat. Tennessee forward Nate Ament.
Yeah. What's your initial reaction to this? I mean,
this is a terrible pick. This is the worst pick. Like, this was the pick that every NBA fan was like, we can't end up with Nate. We can't get Nate. Like, just stay away from Nate, and it's a W draft. And the Bucks are the one to take the swing. Like, if there's any team that could take a swing on a project like this, it's the Bucks. But man, Bucks fans out there, it's hard to get excited about this.
He's just a very confusing prospect to me. You know, he's like very difficult to assess, and I think that you're taking on a lot of risk with this because a lot of his scoring in Tennessee, when he did get the ball and when he did like drop these shots, he was kind of using his size to get over the defenders at 6'10". You know, you can easily do that in college, but I think the NBA is an entirely different beast, and we'll have to see how he adapts his game. I'm not super optimistic. I think you can probably expect him to be a bust, but hey, if he's more than that, then great.
I mean, his report says he draws fouls, and that's it. So
maybe that's enough in today's NBA, though. You know, like maybe that is enough to warrant a first-round pick.
He did not have to go one and done and go to the draft right away.
No,
like you don't have to do that to be good. Like, I get that that's the vibe around the league, that you have to take 1 year in college and go straight to the league, but what are you? You're 19 years old. You can take another year in college to develop your game.
Yeah, Yaxel is 24. Okay, like you can stay.
That's a tough subject for Wisconsin fans.
Oh man, yeah. I'm sorry.
I saw him hit a game winner on my head, dude. Oh man! Shout out Jimmy Lynch on WSUM Sports for that call. Yeah. By the way. It haunts me to this day. That game winner.
It's brutal.
Yeah, but 24 years old. Like, you're dominating, like, 19 and 20-year-olds in the league. Like, not the league, the NCAA. So, I think it's finally, it's long overdue that you're finally in the league. Welcome, Yaxel.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is why I think it actually makes the most sense that he got drafted to the Warriors, because they're holding on to Steph Curry and they're trying to squeeze every last bit they can out of his prime years. And
sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly. And so Yaxel is the perfect pick if you want to like maybe try to contend for like a couple years. And like, I don't know, you saw they hit on the Jordan Poole pick, and that was like the difference to them making the finals. I'm not saying that this is going to be a similar success.
Poole. Oh man, I miss Jordan Poole.
Yeah, I think everybody does, but I think that, I don't know, there's a chance that this could hit. I think it's a very like low risk pick for the Warriors.
You know, another thing about Yaxel, he was asked about what he thinks of Stephen Curry and going to play with Stephen Curry. He said he was a big Kyrie fan.
Big Kyrie fan.
You said that as a Golden State Warrior? What? That's a tough subject for Warriors fans out there.
He's not PR trained at all.
Do we not remember Game 7 in 2016? I would say play the clip, but don't play the clip. But
yeah, exactly.
I remember him hitting a 3 that won them the game in Game 7.
A very famous 3 at that.
You know, the 2016 Cavs got together again. That was like the big bro getaway in Europe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know who didn't come? Kyrie.
I know.
He was talking to Yaxel.
Well, was Kevin Love there?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody was there.
Everybody was there except Kyrie. That's sad.
Yeah, Dellavedova was there too.
Oh. Delly almost died.
They was like, oh no, Delly didn't show up. Oh. And then he showed up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he showed up last minute. So, like the whole joke about this on Twitter is that people pretend that they were with him. Like, I was with my boy LeBron yesterday. Yeah, the 2016 championship is the best championship in all of NBA history.
And that's an unbiased take right here.
It is unbiased. Like,
okay.
Can you say
yes.
that as a Timberwolves fan?
I would agree.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
I would agree. It's like the heaviest ring,
The heaviest of heaviest rings. And it's our one ring, and I'm okay with it.
10 years later, we're still milking
In all of Cleveland. Like, the Browns aren't going to win anything. The Browns are never going to win anything.
Well,
The Guardians haven't been there in, 68 years? So
Yeah,
the Cavs are our only hope.
you have the opportunity 10 years later to run it back with Braun if he decides to go to the Cavs
He's coming
for the retirement tour. I think there's probably a 50-50 chance that happens. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he stays
You
with
got to
the
remember,
Lakers.
though, both sides got to want it. So, maybe Cavs fans want it, but, does the Cavs front office
Does
really
it actually
want it?
make sense? I don't know if
Do
it does.
we want a 40-year-old forward with James Harden? I don't know if that's the best combo in the world. But with that being said, let's wrap this thing up with the draft here.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the Bucks draft overall? Is it a good foundation to build off of with the stuff they got back from the Miami Heat trade?
I think it's the best you could have expected. I mean, the Amon pick is a little shaky, but at the very least, you get a good scoring option with Braden Burries. I think that a lot of media, pundits, were kind of picking the Bucks as having one of the worst drafts of the night. I'm not as quick to say that it was one of the worst, to be honest with you. I think we just kind of need to see how it plays out. At least we're not the Nets and taking our sixth guard in 2 years of the NBA draft. So.
I think we dogged on the Knicks, or not the Knicks, the Nets enough here today. So
yeah, that's probably enough.
And with that being said, let's transition over to our NFL segment. Here it is, Brendan Sorsby. This one's also quite humorous. He has been denied from the 2026 NFL supplemental draft. Yeah. Was this deserved before we start?
Yes, absolutely. Point blank,
I think we're all in agreement.
Yes, this was absolutely deserved. It's laughable that he thought he had a case. You can't force, I can't bring a lawsuit to the Washington Wizards and say, why didn't you draft me first overall? It's not exactly the same thing, but it's I don't know.
First of all, the NFL does not need to hold these supplemental drafts. They're for special circumstances, and I'm not sure this circumstance meets that criteria of what they consider a special circumstance. First of all, you did something that warrants a suspension.
Yep.
And the NFL can see what you're doing. They're not dumb. They can see you're trying to avoid the NCAA punishments and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure, obviously the opinions expressed on the show do not reflect that of WSUM, the University of Wisconsin-Madison, or its Board of Regents. It's enough to warrant a fake suspension or a de facto suspension. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a great idea. Maybe you can go play in the CFL. That's open. When does the CFL play? I think it's still playing right now.
Yeah.
The UFL. He's going to miss the UFL season. I'm pretty sure flag football. That's an option. You could do that. There's rec leagues. Plenty of rec leagues out there.
Of course.
Brendan Sorsby, if you're listening, the WSUM flag football team needs a quarterback.
Genuinely, we do. I mean, we got receiving options. It's not the worst place for him to land.
Bottom line, there's nowhere for him to go until next year's draft.
Nope.
In the 2027 stacked QB class. So you might find him going in the early second round, maybe even the late second round.
I think with how stacked this class is, I'm saying top of the third.
No.
I mean,
his talents does not warrant taking him out of the second round. Teams are going to take the swing. This isn't a Shedeur Sanders situation. This quarterback is much more talented than Shedeur Sanders.
Well, if Shedeur was falling in the draft all the way to the fourth round for quote-unquote character issues, I can't think of a character issue that's worse.
We still have no idea why he fell. And we're not going to find out for another 10 or 15 years until Dion finally spills the beans.
That's fair. I guess I'm making an assumption there, but I just think
we're theorizing.
Yeah, we're theorizing. I just think if Shedeur is falling for something as kind of arbitrary like that, I think that this actually warrants him.
He might have actually just fell for talent, because so far he's been playing like a third or fourth round quarterback.
Yes. I would have to agree, but I think I don't know. I can't get inside the mind of an NFL GM. Maybe he goes end of the first. Who knows?
That's still possible. He still has his scouting combines. He still has his interviews. Teams can hear him out, and they haven't yet. So, and he was supposed to have that pro day he was supposed to have one in early July. Now that's not going to be happening. And the the pros of this, let's take a look at the pros of this. The NFL sets the precedent that sports gambling is not tolerated, and the incoming wave of this generation of sports trading is not going to affect the quality product of the NFL, I guess, is what the pros are being said. But I want to talk about the cons of this, because the cons are sports talk radio is screwed until late July in the NFL region.
We'll be grasping for topics.
Because Brendan Sorsby, I don't know if you're as plugged into Cleveland media as I am, but Brendan Sorsby was going to be the headline for the next month and a half. And I'm so glad that's not going to be happening.
Yeah, I think even this segment alone is like...
This is already too much.
This is already too much.
I'm so sick of talking about this already. Oh, but man, it was supposed to be the cool story that got clicks for the Jets, the Browns, the Cardinals. I actually have a fan poll with me of what fans thought that they thought that Brendan Sorsby would end up.
Okay.
I have 4 teams here. The poll was this. I got 199 votes here. Cardinals, Browns, Steelers, Jets were the teams that I gave. Do you want to guess who won that?
Surely the Cardinals, right? Surely.
Yes.
They have nothing to lose.
48% of the vote went to the Cardinals. Yes.
Oh, man.
You want to guess who got second place then, if that was that easy to guess the Cardinals?
I'm going to say the Jets.
You got it. It's 22% of the vote. Yeah.
I mean, him and Gino could have the QB battle of the ages.
No, but here's the thing. Cade Klubnik. Have you heard of this guy? From Clemson.
I've heard the
was
name.
Projected to go in the first or second round just a year ago. He's been balling out in OTA and minicamp. So I'm thinking if the Jets are sitting at 2-6, 2-8 at the halfway point of the season, he comes in, he balls out, wins 4 games, screws the Jets in their draft picks. So they have to stick with Cade Klubnik, and he becomes their franchise quarterback.
Oh, yeah. He's going the Trevor Lawrence route, taking a couple years to get ready. That Clemson quarterback, take a minute to bake and then underperform.
Oh, he's taking more than a minute to bake, but he is baking. Like Baker Mayfield out there.
Oh, yeah.
But with that being said, yeah, that's just my little tangent about him, because I drafted him in my Dynasty League, and I need this to happen. So the other 2 teams I listed are the Browns and Steelers. Do you want to guess who got third place?
I mean, the Browns have
Yeah.
so many quarterbacks. I can't imagine it's them. I'm going with the Steelers.
No media group has ever talked more about Brendan Sorsby than the Browns. Like, the last thing that the Browns need is another quarterback.
No,
they already got way too much going on with Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. So
too much.
You could spend an entire hour talking about that quarterback room and theorizing every day, because ESPN posts the stats of OTAs and minicamp every single day of how many passes they completed and how many touchdowns and picks they threw. Like that matters.
Like it's going to do anything.
Think
like
about
it's
this in the context of
decision.
Deshaun does way more red zone reps, so he's going to throw more touchdowns. So to the naked eye, people are going to see that, oh my gosh, Deshaun Watson threw 7 touchdowns today. Therefore, he must be better than Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion Sanders. Like, that is my main gripe. Like, come on, guys.
Why are they posting stats of OTAs? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
There's nothing better to do in the NFL from, what is it? It starts in May and it goes to July. Yeah. Nothing happens. And this Brendan Sorsby thing was supposed to save them.
Bro, we'll be talking about the CFL in a couple weeks. Mark my words.
No, we're not talking about the CFL. I'm sorry. What are we going to talk about? Chad? What was his name? Oh, my gosh. The guy from the Broncos and Colts, Chad, the 7th round pick.
Oh, my God.
His name was Chad. That's all you got to know. That's all I know about the CFL. But, yeah, that is enough about Brendan Sorsby. Now, for the rest of the show, let's talk about some predictions.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're going to do the AFC South today. We already did the NFC North, and we got some thoughts.
A lot of thoughts.
We posted this on the WSUM YouTube channel. If you're on the YouTube channel right now watching us, you can go check out that video as well. Like, it's going to be linked in the description, and you'll be able to click that video, and you'll see these comments, and you can reply to these guys and give your thoughts. That is my...
Give them your 2 cents.
Give them your 2 cents if you disagree with these people. But first up, this is from Profile Pick Letter C. I don't even know how to pronounce this name because it's just letters and numbers. Quote, unquote, I'm a Bears fan. The Packers will win the division. Bears will step back, and you all have the Lions overrated. Okay. The Parsons injury and missing games hurts. That hurt or exposed the corners last year. Don't know what that means. If they can survive the first 6 games and Parsons comes back good, it's the Packers. You know, I can see that. I can agree with that.
I can agree with that. I mean,
all he's saying is that you got to weather the storm.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we've been doing for the past few years. So I feel like, why not do it a little bit more? You know, we can get through the first 6 games, no issue. No problem.
No issue, no problem. It's going to be no problem. I'm sure our audience is hoping the Packers weather that storm, but it's going to be tough with a very, very minimal pass rush and terrible corners. Keyshawn Nixon is your number 1 corner.
Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
All day. So they're not going to be playing any man coverage, and if they do, it's just DJ Moore touchdown or, cover 2. Just a ton of cover 2 and a lot of 5-yard easy gains. Like, just think about your dad watching the Packers on TV. Why are they giving up all these easy 5-yard outs? I could cover that. That's exactly what it's going to be. So, there you go. That's the 2 cents on the Packers weathering the storm. Dave has to say, he has 2 comments. Dave is talking a lot about the Vikings. He has the Vikings at 13-4. That warrants a pause. Detroit at 12-5.
Okay.
Chicago at 10-7, and there will be talk about Murray being MVP, similar to Darnold in Minnesota. First of all, Darnold, no MVP talks. I don't care
MVP
what you're
talks.
hearing. And then he has this as well. Or, in all caps, Detroit 13-4 and Minnesota 12-5.
Oh man, that is a very generous.
I have 2 things to say about this, but I'm gonna let you go first.
I mean, that is a very generous prediction for Minnesota. I mean, if they hit on Murray, great. You know, like, they have a decent defense to kind of make up for that. And I don't know, the Lions will be decent for sure. 12 wins is not out of the realm of possibility, but
first of all, here's what I have to say about this. This is too many wins for all of these teams because they're playing the NFC West and they're playing their division rivals each twice.
Right.
So that's a tough schedule. They're going to take a step back. The 1-score games that Detroit and Chicago were benefiting off of, they're not going to be getting those wins. It's just statistically speaking, you flip a coin, like 50% of the time it's going to be heads and 50% of the time it's going to be tails. So if you're winning 80% of your 1-score games, that's you getting heads 8 times out of 10.
You're getting a little lucky. Lucky.
That's your statistical thing right there. That's not happening. And second of all, we talked about how Minnesota could win 13 games, but no, Murray's not going to be in MVP talks. What are we talking about? What is going on? I'd rather hear someone say that 9 is going to be in MVP talks. JJ McCarthy himself.
We are deep in the offseason already. Like, it's 13 wins is a bit ambitious. You know, I'm saying max. If Murray works out, I'm saying max like 11, max like 10, honestly.
So far, I think it's pretty easy to say that this guy's a Vikings fan.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. You know, nothing wrong with being a homer. Like,
I mean, you're from Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a Vikings fan?
You know, I've gone through enough abuse at the lunch table to
the lunch table, yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm a Browns fan, man. Growing up in Wisconsin. And then the absolute karma.
You had it worse. You won.
But no, my last laugh was Jimmy Haslam buying the Bucks. So, Wisconsin sports fans, you got to deal with my pain too. Jimmy Haslam's my owner too. So, I'm gonna just say that the Giannis trade does have a little bit of something to do with your owner. And then Dave has something else to say.
Okay.
He says the Jets and Giants in New Jersey, Buffalo and Orland Park. Vegas doesn't play in Vegas. He's referring to the Hammond move with the Bears. Yes, Dallas plays in Arlington. San Fran plays in Santa Clara, Washington, and Maryland. Landover, Maryland, by the way. LA Rams and Chargers in Inglewood. So I think he's just saying that this Hammond move doesn't matter, which is a fair take.
Yeah,
that one's a good one.
That's
Dave.
fair. Bears fans will travel. They'll travel to the stadium if they're playing. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's just fun. It's just fun to make fun of the Bears.
Exactly. I'm not even a Packers fan. It's just funny. Like Hammond, Indiana is getting an NFL team.
Bro.
Like I can understand Santa Clara. I can understand Arlington. I can understand Orland Park. I can understand Landover. I can understand Inglewood. I can't get on the Hammond train, man.
Man, industry booming. Like, it's on the way up.
Isn't it just filled with factories? Like, what is going on here? This is not built for an NFL team. I'm not even sure they have, like, houses there. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well,
I think we've talked enough about Hammond.
Yeah.
We got one more comment. It's from Brad. It's hard to find 7 losses for Detroit, so we might have a Lions fan here, with their schedule. Outside of the division, Detroit has Buffalo, the Pats, Tampa Bay, and the New York Giants. Pretty cake, aside from those 4. New Orleans, New York Jets, Carolina, Miami, Titans, Atlanta, and Arizona. Well, that's assuming that all of those bad teams are going to stay bad.
Right.
Some of them I can agree that are going to stay bad.
Yeah.
Some of them I think are going to bounce back.
And who knows, man? Like, some of these fluky games, I think it's reasonable to kind of bake in a prediction that, like, they're going to drop some games that they should probably win, you know? Like, maybe 1 or 2. I mean, you don't want to base all of that off of that, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think these teams are going to be in the cellar of the NFL for long, you know? Some of them will, for sure.
All right.
I'm thinking of Arizona a little bit, but
I'm thinking the Falcons maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, their offense is just too good. If they can get average quarterback play, they'll be a better football team and definitely will give the Lions trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I think that's kind of the take that we had. So I can get on that bandwagon. 10-7 or better for the Lions. It's a bounce back year for them.
Totally.
They were involved in a lot of one-score contests, so I think those will flip, and they'll be back to their regular 9-10, 11 wins. So with that being said, I think it's time to make some more predictions more comments can comment about how we were wrong. So with that being said, let's dive on in. Here we go, the AFC South. Let's talk about first what the 4 teams are. Colts, Jags, Texans, and Titans, if you don't follow the NFL that tightly. But let's flip a coin to see who goes first, because I got my standings right here on my phone.
Same
and
here.
You got yours.
Same here.
So flip that coin. Look at that camera.
Yeah, I got a nickel right here. Thank you to our coworker Emily for providing this, I guess.
It's a good nickel. It's worth 5 cents.
Did you want to call it?
I mean, let's go with tails. It never fails.
Sounds good. Oh, it is heads. So
you can go first again. Second time in a row.
Yes, sir. I get to go first. Okay, so should I start lowest team and then up to the highest record?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a team that's ultimately going to take a step back here after a pretty weak offseason. It's going to be the Indianapolis Colts.
Whoa!
In the last place, and not by much. Okay. Before anyone runs to the comments, tell me that I'm super wrong.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay, it's like, at the end of the day, man, like, the Colts had a pretty weak offseason. Daniel Jones is injured. There's a lot of uncertainty there about, like, what he's going to be like when he comes back, how many games he's going to miss. And they just seem sure to take a step back from the 8 wins that they got. I'm not going to lie. They have a difficult schedule. They're losing Pittman. And they gave Alec Pierce, one of the highest contracts for a receiver.
Whoa. Chill. All right, I'll keep going.
Okay. I don't think this is that crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, you still have JT. He's going to give you a lot of wins. That's why I'm open to.
Go Badgers, man.
Yeah, go Badgers. JT is a GOAT. But he could get them up to like 7-8 wins maybe. But I think ultimately, like, their offense is just really, really weak. And he was at like full capacity last season. He was making MVP. He was in MVP talks early on, and they still only got to 8 wins. They had a collapse at the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if they regressed. There's too many questions and there's too much inconsistency. Colts 6 wins.
Just keep going.
All right, I got you.
Just finish it.
Okay, coming up next, I have the Titans taking a step up from where they were. I have them getting 7 wins. I think this is a 7-win Titans team. They made a lot of improvements. I think they made the improvements that I think Titans fans were looking for. They got Cam Ward, more weapons. Carnell Tate looks to be an amazing receiving prospect. We'll have to see how he plays in actual NFL snaps. But you also have another receiving option in Wan'Dale Robinson. He was taking a lot of Malik Neighbors' targets, and he looked really good. He still put together a 1,000-yard season, even despite, some questions about that.
PPR.
Yeah. And they pick up Brian Dable. Right. That's their offensive coordinator, Brendan.
Yep.
Okay. Just to make sure, but I think he works much better in the coordinator role than the head coaching role, in my opinion. I mean, we saw how Josh Allen kind of blossomed into this superstar, and you wonder, with the amount of talent that Cam Ward has, he's shown a lot of flashes of brilliant playmaking. I think that, we might see him take a step up, and I kind of wanted to, just predict that. I mean, there's questions about Salah's leadership and if he can really lead an NFL team to, I don't know, greatness, especially with the rockiness with the Jets.
Can I say something, though?
Sure.
No primetime games for this Tennessee Titan team for the second year in a row. Cam Ward deserves to be seen.
Yeah.
Because the national audience has not seen the #1 overall pick play football. I think he's good enough to be, he's played well.
Yes,
so he deserved to be seen.
I agree. And you have all these casuals saying that he's, a bust already, and it's just they're not watching the games. They can't see the games.
You see that, across the field touchdown pass?
Beautiful.
Maybe that breaks every rule in the quarterback handbook, but he's a #1 overall pick, and he's got the talent to break some of these rules sometimes, maybe Patrick Mahomes.
Now here's a guy. They're still going to have some growing pains, but they could be a year or two away from seriously competing for a playoff spot. So I have the Titans improving to 7-10. Next up, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars going 10-7. Obviously, they lost one of their star linebackers, Devin Lloyd. That's going to hurt them in the upcoming schedule.
Big get for the Panthers.
Yeah, big get. I think the Panthers are looking... They're looking a little scary, but...
I wouldn't say that. Scary to the NFC South, maybe.
Yeah, in terms of the NFC South, maybe. But, I mean, this is still a balanced offense. I think that their offseason was a little mediocre. Trevor Lawrence has a decent receiving core now. He has Jacoby Myers. He has the other guys.
the other guys.
But listen, Liam Cohen tricked us all into believing Baker Mayfield was elite. So I think that, I don't know, they'll still put together
There's a lot of
wins.
Coordinators that had us believing that he was elite. Maybe he just is.
Okay. Fair.
Canales, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He threw 40-something touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. Not too much on Baker Mayfield. He can still be great.
He stinks when he gets hurt because he tries to force things, and you can't do that when you're hurt. Bro, just go on IR. Sit out a few games. You don't need to play every game. That has done more damage than it has done good for your career. Shout out Baker Mayfield.
I would agree. But just to wrap up the Jags, they have a more difficult schedule. I see them kind of regressing a little bit, but still kind of you can't talk about the AFC without talking about the Jags. I think they'll be a mildly competitive team. And just to round it out, I got the Houston Texans winning 12 games this upcoming season. I think I could even see them winning up to 13 or 14. That is in the realm of possibility.
One of the best defenses gives you that ceiling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they could really make a good run. I think obviously C.J. Stroud had that really rough playoff game, and I know it's popular now to say that he can't play, but I think he could still put together a decent offense and still carry this team. I think he honestly bounces back from a rough playoff game.
I agree with you saying that, but you can say that he doesn't show up in big moments.
Yeah.
Because he had 8 turnovers in the playoffs. That Steelers game, they should have lost that game with how many turnovers they had, but still, with that defense, you win 30-6. And against the Patriots, C.J. Stroud single-handedly gave them that game, and the Patriots had a Mickey Mouse run to the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would have to agree. I think they have I just think this team has very few weaknesses. I don't know. They have a really high ceiling and a low floor. This defense is unbelievable. That's my predictions.
All right. Well, there's a pretty there's a ginormous elephant in the room with this, but
really?
I think three out of the 4 are very nice picks. I will give you that. So starting off with my predictions here, I have the Titans at 7-10, still improved.
Okay. Yeah.
They still get their 7 wins. I'm just giving them that. They definitely are improved. They have a brand new coaching staff, but with brand new coaching staff and brand new rookies, it comes with growing pains. And you usually see that happen around 7 or 8 wins. They have a nice win streak to end the year. People are talking about how much they love that foundation going into next year. Cam Ward takes a step up. Very nice pick for 2027. All right, now we've gotten that out of the way. We're punting them to 2027. We talked about how they deserve to be on primetime games. We've gotten all that out of the way. Third place, Colts, 10-7.
What?
10-7.
10-7.
We are forgetting that this team started the season 7-1.
But that was a Mickey Mouse schedule. Can we just...
No, it wasn't.
Let's just be honest
The reason
here. They were the biggest pretenders. They were the biggest pretenders in the AFC. Like, I don't think there's any debate about this. The Colts...
They were not the biggest pretenders in the AFC. The reason they only won one game down the stretch is because Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. That is the only reason they went all in to win with Daniel Jones, and they lost him. Like, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to win with Phillip Rivers?
When you have Jonathan Taylor, yeah.
Imagine this in basketball terms. All right, we pull a 45-year-old from the street. Give me a 45-year-old NBA player. And
maybe Vince Carter at the end of his career, is getting up there, but nah.
But it's your point guard, and he has the ball in his hands on every play. Like he's the one controlling this. Phillip Rivers goes into Seattle and almost beats the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Phillip Rivers, he couldn't throw the ball more than 20 yards.
But 10,
Phillip Rivers!
10 wins, though.
People still don't realize how ridiculous that is. Phillip Rivers is 45 years old and was drafted in the same draft class as Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. Those guys are firmly on the couch, have long beards, triple chins, 40 kids. They are not coming back. I have no idea how Phillip Rivers came back and almost beat the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
He had to reset his union benefits,
But this team still has a lot on this roster. And if with Daniel Jones back or even Anthony Richardson, we got to remember Anthony Richardson was injured the entirety of the year. So if he comes into, I think he still would win them more than one or two games. He would win them one or two games to get them to 9 or 10 wins last year. They had Riley Leonard and Phillip Rivers.
I'm not convinced.
I'm still not done yet.
Okay. Go ahead.
Their defense is great. They still have a great interior with DeForest Buckner. They took a lot of good rookies this year. I like their draft. They got Travarius Ward. They got Sauce Gardner. They got corners. Their defense is going to be good. Their offense has Tyler Warren, an emerging top rookie tight end. They got Jonathan Taylor. Go Badgers. Jump around. It's the end of the third quarter. He's running for 2,000 yards again. Alec Pierce. Why are we dogging on Alec Pierce?
Listen, I don't want not too much on Alec Pierce. With the touches he got, he was very efficient. But I just think that the size of this contract, it's a little bit much.
Okay, he was not the number one option. He had 47 catches, but still 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. Imagine him getting more targets. This guy is the definition of a deep threat. Get him involved more, and this guy can be a 1,300-yard receiver. Get him 9 touchdowns?
I mean, that's not too big of a stretch, for sure.
I like the way this guy plays.
Yeah. No,
this guy's a deep threat. This is like Tyler Lockett back in the day. Like, this is a good receiver to have on your football team. Maybe not Tyler Lockett isn't the most flashiest 1 or 2 option, but he's still worth that extension.
Okay, yeah.
In today's NFL money.
That's a fair argument.
Yeah, so I like their receiver room. They still got Josh Downs, who is good when healthy, and Ashton Doolin. So they've got weapons for Mr. Daniel Jones to throw to, and that's not even the main focus of their offense, because Daniel Jones can run. The option game with Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones is why Jonathan Taylor was a fantasy machine with Daniel Jones.
He saved me. So
he did. I just
enough.
traded for him in Dynasty, by the way. I did. So that's why I have them at 10-7. I think they get in a tie with the Jaguars at 10-7.
All right. Okay.
I like
fair.
Liam Cohen. I've been a fan of Liam Cohen.
He's amazing.
He's any coach from the McVay tree that's shown success in this league calling plays. Give them, I want that as my head coach any day of the week. And Trevor Lawrence is finally developing. It only took him 4 years, but he's finally developing. Michelle Tutin's finally getting the keys. When he played, I liked him.
Yeah.
If you need a fantasy football sleeper, he's your guy. But since we're running out of time, that's basically my deal. Their defense is still great with Armstead, Walker, number 1 overall pick, by the way, back a while ago. Travis Hunter's back and healthy. He's primarily going to be playing corner. Their defense is going to be good. Their offense is going to be already boosted by the play calling of a guy like Liam Cohen. Give me them at 10-7. And of course, we already kind of talked about this. I have the Houston Texans winning 11 games at 11-6.
All right.
I think C.J. Stroud in that offense probably loses them a couple games. I'm not saying their offense is terrible, but
Fair.
they have their times.
Yeah,
Their
definitely.
run game doesn't excite me. at all.
Nah,
I mean,
me
it's
neither.
it's a wash. David Montgomery and
He could still
Woody
give you.
Marks.
David Montgomery could still put together some decent games for you. But I mean, is he?
Yeah, he can, but like he's not a number one back.
Yeah.
He's not a 3-down guy.
Well, I mean, he was pretty efficient on the Lions, you know.
He had Jahmyr Gibbs being the pass catcher, so
yeah.
you take him off for that. So he plays a role, and he plays that role very well. Do they have a good pass catching back? I don't think Woody Marks is that guy. You're not that guy.
He let me down in fantasy.
He did. He let a lot of people down in fantasy. He just wasn't efficient with his carries. Nick Chubb was taking carries from him. Nick Chubb in the Big 25. By the way, I wanted to come back just to retire the Brown.
That made me sad. You
Prime
mentioning
Nick
him
Chubb.
right now. Yeah, man. Never forget. Never forget. He was so good.
But yeah, with that being said, that's our NFC South or AFC. That's our AFC South prediction. What do you guys think in the comments?
Let us know. Are we wrong? You know, are the Colts winning 10 games? Like,
I think they win 10 games pretty easily.
We'll see.
All they
see.
got to do is stay healthy. Like,
Okay.
Daniel Jones, if you're out there, if you can hear me, stay healthy, man. But with that being said, of course, that is our predictions. If you want to leave a comment down below on the YouTube channel, please do so. If you're on the FM airwaves listening live, you can check out this podcast replay wherever you get your podcast. And of course, for the first time ever live on FM, you can go check out the video podcast on the YouTube channel. It's probably going to drop in the next couple days. So be on the lookout for that by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. And that wraps the bow tightly on this gift of a podcast of WSUM's Toss the Mic Sportscast. Will Overbo, we'll see you next week, Thursday at 10 a.m. on WSUM.